Hello, in this tutorial I'd like to show you a way how to modulate targets in insert plugins which are not equipped with a modulation matrix. And in order to showcase this, I would like to show you the Satin tape saturation plugin in the flange mode. Okay, I've got a guitar track here. And this guitar track is going to be flanged now. Okay, let's choose Satin. So here we are. And now let's go to the flange mode. And as you can see here, you can modulate the tape by moving this slider. Okay, that sounds great, but during mixing, I don't want to move this slider all the time. So my wish is to kind of automate this slider using, for example, LFO. But this plugin is not equipped with an LFO. As an alternative, I could of course write an automation track and kind of draw a sinus curve. Let's choose the target. So here are the inserts, here is Satin. So here are the flanger targets. And then the only way to keep the slider automation running would be to draw a curve into this. This can be done with the diverse automation modes. I can choose, for example, a sine wave here and then draw it in. Okay, that's one way to do it, but in my way it's kind of awkward, not flexible, because maybe I want to change the amplitude or the frequency of this automation, or maybe I want to switch it on or off, or maybe later on I want to modify this curve, and this is kind of awkward using automation. And I would like to show you now an alternative which enables us to create a modulation LFO in order to move this slider. Okay, let's delete this. Oh, sorry. So, how can this be done? First, we need an additional plugin which is equipped with LFOs. And I've got one of these plugins. In order to put this plugin into operation, I must create an additional MIDI track. Let's call it guitar modulation. What to do next? The next step is we have to insert this very special plugin, which is called Midishaper by Cable Guys. And it has to be inserted into the audio insert slot. So, as you can see here, this plugin is equipped with 4 LFOs. This is LFO 1. And here we have got a modulation matrix. And the way this plugin works is it sends MIDI controls to the host, and these MIDI controls now have to be routed to a target insert plugin. And that is what we are going to do now. So before we can do this, we must enable Satin to receive MIDI information. And my idea is to use the modulation wheel. I'm playing now with my modulation wheel. You can see here the MIDI activity, but unfortunately nothing is arriving at this plugin. And of course the slider won't move. So what we have to do now, we have to assign the output of this MIDI slot to the input of the Satin plugin. So let's do this. We do this in the MIDI parameters. So it's currently set to guitar in, and we have to set it to Satin input now, which is here. Via MIDI learn I can assign the modulation wheel, and as you can see now we can move with the modulation wheel the slider. Okay, this is great, but the basic idea is we want to automate this slider. And now the Midishaper plugin comes into play. So let's open the Midishaper plugin. And the modulation wheel is control number 74. So we have to choose 74 as a control input. And this is the strength of the modulation. Let's set it to 100, for example. It's currently beat sync, and now let's see what happens. Nothing, because we forgot something. The next step is we have to assign the MIDI input, so where the channel gets its controller information from, to Midishaper plugin. So now the Midishaper plugin MIDI out is routed to the input of this modulation MIDI channel. And now the modulation is taking place, as you can see here. Can also change to free speed mode. Now it's going very fast. Let's slow it down a bit. I reduced the strength a bit. As you can see, now we have got great control over the modulation of this slider. And a great feature of this plugin is that you can change the curves by inserting new points, dragging around. You can also choose predefined waveforms, like for example a triangle or the sine again. Okay, that's basically it. There is one caveat I'd like to show to you. Let's see what happens if we select another track. Okay, plugin is working fine. Now I select, for example, this track. Oh, now the modulation stops working. So this is very important to remember. You have to set the modulation channel to monitor on. And then, if you select another channel, the modulation will keep running. And if you want to stop the modulation, just switch off the monitor. And on again. Great. Thanks for watching and goodbye.